All right, so get this. Today we're diving deep into something really strange.
Oh, yeah.
It's this document
Okay.
called DonaldTrump.pds.
Uh-huh.
And get this, it's literally just the name Donald Trump.
Rah.
Like over and over and over again, hundreds of times.
Wow.
No sentences,
Really?
no context,
It's the name.
just the name.
Huh.
I mean, what even is that?
You know what's so striking is like how simple it is?
Yeah.
And yet it's like a commentary on how much media coverage there is about him.
Oh, totally.
Just the name Donald Trump everywhere all the time.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
They're trying to show you what it feels like to
Yeah.
be just bombarded with his name.
Yeah.
Even if you're trying to like avoid it.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of suffocating, you know?
Yes. And it like forces you to think about the name itself without any other information.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
when you see the name Donald Trump, what do you think about? Like what comes to mind?
That's a good question. I feel like that's going to be so different for every single person,
Yeah.
you know, depending on like their politics and all that.
Right. Exactly.
But like, it's impossible to have a totally neutral reaction to that name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Right.
It's like this mirror reflecting all of our different reactions to
Yeah.
like the current political and social climate.
It's like a Rorschach test almost.
Exactly.
Wow. So this simple thing can be so complex.
Yeah.
So like, how does just using his name over and over again like play into all the stuff we already think about him?
Well, it's hard to know exactly what the creator was thinking.
Right.
But this definitely uses repetition,
Okay.
which is a super powerful technique.
How so?
Like think about slogans and stuff like advertising.
Oh, yeah.
The more you hear it.
The more it sticks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is the creator trying to like reinforce the ideas people already have about Donald Trump?
Mm.
Or are they trying to like challenge those ideas by showing it in this weird way?
It could be the one.
Yeah, it's open to interpretation.
Right.
Some people might see it as like praising him, others as like criticizing him,
Uh-huh.
and some might see it as just showing how powerful a name can be.
Oh, that's interesting. What about the title of the document?
Right.
DonaldTrump.pdf.
Right.
It's like the repetition starts even before you open it up.
Yeah, definitely. Even the file name is all about the name itself.
Mm.
It's like they're saying this isn't about what he does or believes. This is just about the name Donald Trump.
And all that comes with it.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
celebrity and stuff.
It's kind of a lot to think about.
It is.
It's like they're turning the name into like a symbol
Right.
separated from the actual person.
Exactly. And symbols can be really powerful.
For sure.
They can make you feel all kinds of things, like loyalty
Uh,
or even fear.
yeah. And I feel like this document is kind of doing all of that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. So what do you think the listener is thinking right now? Just hearing us talk about this weird thing.
Probably feeling kind of intrigued and maybe a little confused.
Sure. It's definitely meant to make you think and question things.
Yeah. It's not passive at all.
It's like it's demanding that you pay attention to it, even though it's basically empty.
Yeah. It's interesting how something so simple can be so challenging.
That's exactly why we're doing this deep dive,
Right.
trying to figure out all the layers
Yeah.
and how just a name can be so powerful.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
have a feeling we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more to
A
explore.
lot more to uncover.
We'll do just that after we take a quick break.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
All right.
Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. So this document, it's definitely political.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can't really separate Donald Trump, the name, from like all the politics around him.
Right. It's not just some art project.
Yeah.
His name, it just has so much baggage.
Totally. Both good and bad.
Yeah.
People have such strong feelings about him.
It's like a lightning rod.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so interesting. It makes us think about our own biases
Oh, okay.
and how we react to that name.
Yeah.
It shows us how divided we are.
So it's like a test almost.
Yeah.
Like a litmus test
Okay.
for the political climate.
I can imagine if you showed this to like different people
Right.
with different views.
It would be so interesting.
Some would love it, some would hate it.
Exactly.
It would definitely start arguments.
Probably.
But that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah.
It's not telling you what to think.
It's making you decide for yourself.
Exactly.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
It all comes back to you.
Right. It's subjective.
Okay.
The meaning isn't about Donald Trump, the person.
Uh-huh.
It's about what he represents to you.
Oh, I see.
It's about the stories we tell ourselves about him
Yeah.
and how we feel about him.
It's like the document is saying, here's the name.
You figure it out.
Right.
What does it mean to you?
And that meaning is going to be different for everyone. Totally. It depends on your own experiences.
Your background, your politics, everything.
Exactly. It's fascinating how one name can be so connected to who we are,
Yeah.
both individually and as a society.
It's like the name Donald Trump has become bigger than the man himself.
It has become a symbol.
It's like that idea of celebrity.
Yeah.
His name was famous before he was even in politics.
Definitely.
He was always a brand.
Exactly.
And that's what this document is showing us.
Yeah. Like how a person can become like a cult of personality.
It makes you think about image and branding
Right.
and how that stuff can be more important than like actual ideas or actions. It's kind of scary when you think about it,
Yeah, it is. Like a name can be that powerful.
even if the person isn't.
Exactly.
Hmm.
We live in a world where image is everything.
That's true.
And this document is showing us that.
So we're back to that mirror idea.
Uh-huh.
The document is like a reflection of us,
Of our values.
and it's not a very pretty picture.
It does make you wonder,
Yeah.
are we too focused on what's on the surface? Are we just overwhelmed by all the information and images?
Right. Like we're drowning in it, but we're not actually learning anything.
Yeah. And this document with just the name over and over,
It's like it's making us see that emptiness.
that's where art can be so powerful.
Okay.
It can challenge us, make us uncomfortable, make us face hard truths.
And this document is definitely doing that,
It is.
even though it's so simple.
It's making us think about media.
Politics, our own beliefs,
Yeah,
is pretty deep.
it is. This DonaldTrump.pdf, it's more than just a document.
For sure.
It's a conversation starter.
Yeah. It makes you question everything
It's about how we see the world, how we understand things.
and how we deal with this world of image and branding. Okay, so we've talked a lot about this DonaldTrump.pdf thing.
We have.
Where do we even land with it? Like-
Interesting.
Like, what should the listener take away from this?
You know, we talked about all this stuff.
Right, repetition, symbolism,
God.
politics, even celebrity.
But I think the biggest thing is how you interpret it yourself.
Oh, okay. So there's not like one right answer.
No, not at all. It's not like math or something.
Okay.
It's more like art,
Huh.
like a poem or a painting.
Oh, I see.
The meaning changes depending on who's looking at it.
So someone listening to this could see it totally differently than us.
Exactly. And that's great.
Really?
It makes you think critically.
Yeah.
It makes you ask questions and look at it from different angles.
So instead of telling them what to think,
Right.
we're giving them the tools to figure it out themselves.
Exactly. Like we're laying out the ideas.
Yeah, okay.
Repetition, symbolism, all that.
Yeah.
But it's up to them to decide what it means.
I like that. It puts the power in their hands.
Exactly.
It reminds you that you don't have to just believe everything you see.
Yeah.
You can think for yourself.
Especially now with like so much information everywhere.
Oh, yeah,
You have to
totally.
be careful.
And question things.
Think critically.
This crazy little document is a good reminder of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's been a good exercise.
Yeah. It's made us think about things in a new way.
It has. And hopefully the listener too.
Maybe they're looking at Donald Trump differently now.
Maybe. Or even just thinking more about names and symbols.
That's what we're all about here.
Getting people to think.
Right.
Asking questions.
That's what makes things interesting.
Absolutely.
So to everyone listening,
Yeah.
don't just take our word for it.
Go find this document
Check it out for yourself.
and see what you think.
What does DonaldTrump.pdf mean to you?
Let us know.
This is just the beginning.
Keep thinking, keep exploring.
There's so much out there.
And that's it for this deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
See you next time.